I recorded earlier. I stopped recording when power went out. Whoops. So their needs and then their want. So their want is going to be your social media, is going to be the lifestyle that you live. Because people are attracted to lifestyle, and typically lifestyle is a want. I live a life of pretty close to complete freedom. Time freedom, financial freedom, we're pretty good. And I share that lifestyle with people, right? I don't necessarily speak about how you need money, reach out to me, right? But that lifestyle I lead is something that the majority of my clientele and the people I work with want. Do you guys see where I'm kind of going with this? But what is it about your product that bridges that gap between a need and a want? This is marketing magic. Like, this is going to be the massive selling point for you in the stuff that you share with people, in your email newsletter, in your social media, in the way you speak in classes. This is the magic. Okay? Does anybody have like an example that you're like, oh, I love this? Or are you looking at me like I have no freaking clue what you're talking about?
I've been thinking about it for a while, but I think I actually need to shift some of my focus from the top 10 to the cleanse and restore kit, because everyone I talk to, they're always sick, they're always tired, and they don't feel motivated because they don't have energy.
Mm-hmm. So you can look at like, and this is what I'm talking about next in relation to doTERRA specifically. But I want you to stop aiming for one or the other, right? Like, if somebody's needs are met, that's great. But typically people are going to, if you were to find a product or a kit or whatever it is for you that mashes the two of these together, you're going to be able to sell them off the shelf like this. So think about something like, for instance, let's just say, I don't know, someone give me an example. Someone give me an example of how they can bridge a gap between their need and their want. So for instance, someone needs money and they want to live a life of freedom. Does somebody have an example? And let's talk kind of through how we can bridge that gap between the two of them. My freaking power is flickering again. So if we need to, if I leave again, just know I'll eventually be back. Could be tomorrow. We don't really know. Anybody have a example? There's no right or wrong. Like, guys, you have to realize that I'm also learning this at the same time as you are. So if I'm like all over the place and you're like, I have no idea what she's talking about, just know that we're learning this together. You learn what you teach, right?
So if somebody wants money or needs money, but they want a lifestyle of freedom, then that's a perfect opportunity to talk about the business. If they like the product, you know, they're going to hopefully have tried some of the product that you have around, or if you know them or you're approaching them, you maybe start with the business. I actually know lots of people who are in MLMs that start with the business before they even start with the product, because the people want a lifestyle and they need money. So I would, if I came on someone and that was what I was hearing, I would say, okay, we need to sit down and chat about how you can make this work for you and take it seriously as a business.
Yeah, and you're going to speak to this too. So the business aspect of it is just such an easy conversation. You need money. You want to live a life of freedom. Well, there's a business, right? Like, that's a easy bridge. But I'm just looking at an example here of like, they need a powerful immune system. Like, say somebody is super sick all the time. They really need an immune system that is like humming, right? Well, what comes with that? Typically, they want empowerment. They want to feel like they can take care of themselves and their family. Because if you have a family that's sick constantly, That's disempowering. That doesn't feel good, right? So they need to feel better in their body. They need a powerful immune system, and they really want to feel empowered. How you're going to speak to this is going to be very different than how you would speak to, say, the business, right? So you're selling them a product, for instance, a home essentials kit, but you're really going to speak to the want side of things. You guys see where I'm going with this? Because you're going to talk to them about, oh my gosh, like this is going to, I'm just looking at a target market here, right? Someone who's sick constantly. So here's the home essentials kit, and these are all of the ways that this is going to support your immune system. This is so incredible. And the beauty of it is that this is going to help you to feel so empowered in taking care of your family. You see how I'm talking about this? It's how you're going to share this with your customers in classes, but this is also going to be how you're going to share on social media. If you have a constant need coming up, people are constantly coming to you with this need, typically you can sense what they're wanting, right? Typically you can sense what really at the end of the day they're struggling with. Maybe it is they're struggling with energy. They're so low energy, and you're like, oh my gosh, like, you know that their want is to be able to run around with their kiddos and to be able to work out with energy and to be able to do the things they want to do. Speak to that, right? Like, these are the oils that I use for energy. Even when you're sharing on social media, I love using peppermint and wild orange to improve my energy throughout the day so that I can run around with my kids and have more energy to give to my passion projects. Because at the end of the day, you are selling, you're going to attract them because of a need, but you're really going to bring somebody in and sell them on a product if you can meet their need and their want. Does that make sense? Or am I like totally out to lunch here? You guys see what I'm saying? It's mostly in the way that you're going to speak to somebody. So sales can be very icky, but is there anything icky in helping somebody meet their need and their want? There really isn't, right? If you are speaking in the way that I just spoke, people are going to buy anything from you. Okay? Does it make sense? Any other questions or anything you're like, oh my gosh, I really need some clarification on a specific one that comes up for me? I'm good with words. I'm very good with scripts. We're good here? I see lots of eyes. Good? Okay, so conversation that happens a lot in social media, fast forward or rewind. In my team, why social media came up is beyond me, is the topic around I can't sell. So if somebody comes to me and says, and this goes for any of you guys who are like, oh my God, I struggle with closing classes, or I really struggle with selling product, or I really struggle with this, the chances are you're not talking about a product that you're actually passionate about. For me, I can't sell shampoo and conditioner if my life depended on it. Like, honestly, I don't know if I've ever sold a doTERRA shampoo and conditioner because it's not a product that I'm passionate about. Do I use the shampoo as body wash? I do. But do I use the products as they're fit for? No, I don't. And so the thing that I want you to remember is that you're going to be the most passionate and be able to sell the product that you buy, and typically the product you enrolled with. So I had a leader come to me a little while ago, and she said, I can't sell Home Essentials Kit if my life depended on it. And I said, oh my gosh, that's totally fine. I close 100% Home Essentials Kits. That's my jam. And I said, well, what did you buy? I don't remember. What did you enroll with? And she said, I enrolled with an Aroma Touch Diffused Kit. And I said, okay, that's cool. I said, so why are you trying to sell a Home Essentials Kit? Well, that's what I thought I had to do, right? This is duplication, right? We talk about this a lot. We duplicate what we're taught. And it kind of struck me because I was like, holy crap, I've been teaching this wrong the whole time. And I said to her, I want you to go out to your next class and I want you to teach and sell an Aroma Touch Kit. Well, sure enough, what did she do? She went out and she enrolled everyone with Aroma Touch Kits. So at the end of the day, you are going to be the most passionate and be able to sell the product that you enjoy the most. Okay. So if you enrolled with a Home Essentials kit, typically you're very easily going to be able to sell somebody on a Home Essentials kit because you adore it. That's what you love. My bread and butter is Home Essentials and Whisper. I upsell people on Whisper all the time because I love it. That is my thing. So if you enrolled with a membership and a bottle of peppermint, go out there and sell people on memberships and peppermint, right? Like if that is your thing and that's what works for you and that's what you're passionate about at the moment, you're going to be able to sell that more often than not, okay? So one thing that I typically will ask people is, what are the products that not necessarily you sell the most, but either you enrolled with or you're very passionate about, right? Because typically that will be how you are going to close your classes. Has anybody here, like, I don't know, someone unmute themselves and share with me, like, what, did you enroll with something other than Home Essentials kit? Maybe you enrolled with an Every Oil kit. That might be your jam. That might be your bread and butter because you love it, right? You started with that, so you can openly talk about that.
I started with a Natural Solutions kit, and I actually sell more Home Essentials kits. However, I did sell Natural Solutions just the other day. So
it's that jump, right? Like for some people, that's actually a large, like in Canada, I think the Natural Solutions comes out to like $7.50. So for some people, the jump between a Home Essentials and a Natural Solutions is a lot. Like that huge jump, right? Mm-hmm. But for instance, my upline, Geraldine, she enrolled with a Natural Solutions and she closes people often on Natural Solutions. So I just want you guys to kind of think about this, because chances are what you close a lot of people on, the product that you're the most confident selling is going to be the product you use the most. Okay, so currently, this is just an example, I'm uber passionate about lifelong vitality and, to be honest with you, the whole Dr. Hale protocol. So myself and my upline, strategically, right? You got to kind of think in strategy here. This is one of my strengths. But I want you to look at what you are currently loving. And maybe it's a matter of putting something together for your community. So we're starting our own version of a Healthy Habits Challenge in May. Because currently, what's affecting both of us the most, what we're selling the most, what we're loving the most and using the most is the products in a Healthy Habits kit. Does this make sense? Right? These are going to change. Things are going to constantly change. You enrolled with a Home Essentials kit, so chances are you're going to enroll most people with a Home Essentials kit. But these products you're passionate about and the products you share online, I really want you guys to start focusing on the products you love, you're currently really enjoying. Because the moment that I see somebody pop online and talk about a product that they're not even using, probably been sitting in their drawer for a year, you can tell, right? You know those, you guys have seen them. I've seen those, like, people that have done, I wanted to actually do one myself, but like the ABCs, so like the ABCs of oils, you go through literally all the oils and talk about them. And I was like, but that doesn't work for me right now because I'm not passionate about cilantro, like, at all. I hate it. So I don't sell it a lot, right? So I want you guys to, yes, there's a bunch of things I walked you through, some things to think about, some ways to take this information and turn it into a sales pitch, to take some information and the needs versus the wants and how to mesh them together. And my hope is that you can go into selling somebody a product or a kit or whatever it might be in a way that is a little bit more comfortable. You're going to go in with a little more confidence. You're going to go in with a little bit more energy. I didn't even go through the other 2 C's, to be honest with you, because I don't really think that it's a fit right now for us because it is a lot more salesy. I will kind of give you a little idea. Competence is going to be one of the questions, if you guys want to actually, you're welcome to do this afterwards, but what are the actions you need to do to get into your best selling zone. So this is a lot more for people who, I find this really is a big thing for me with trying to sell like coaching programs or whatever. Maybe it's turning on your favorite Spotify playlist and getting yourself pumped up. Maybe it's making sure you look good, right? For me, for myself personally, I feel the most confident when I have, this is me, might not be you, I have my eyelashes done, I have a little bit of makeup on, and I'm dressed nice. You feel confident, right? And so you're going to be able to go out and share things in a different way. So this is a big one. Competence is going to be a big one for classes. For myself personally, and I usually recommend this with my team, like look good, feel good for a lot of people, right? So make sure you're going to classes and you look professional and you're carrying yourself in a professional manner. Because the chances of you selling to a higher standard is going to be a little bit better, okay? Because you're feeling really good and confident in your shoes. Okay, the last thing I really want to talk about really quickly is going to be mastering your selling style. So there's so many different ways that we can do this. And I've shared so many different things with you tonight that you're going to be like, holy crap, I don't even know where to start. But I really want, at the end of the day, what I really want you guys to do is come out with confidence in sharing these products because they're incredible. Confidence selling and knowing that it is okay to sell people things. It is okay. Sales is such a nasty word. And then the third thing is I really want you to master your own style of sales. Master your own way and your own techniques. So I'm going to ask you just a few questions. But imagine you're standing in front of your best friend and you're talking about your product. You're describing your product. How do you sell best? What are the key points you want to hit when selling your product? So how do you sell best? What are the key points you're hitting on when selling your product? What do you do to feel confident when you're selling? And are there any stories that help you to sell? So I always say to people, especially people who are nervous about sales, we'll get on the phone or we're in person or whatever, and I'll say, what's your favorite product? And they'll be like, oh, I don't know, Whisper. And you'll be like, oh my gosh, okay, tell me about Whisper. And like, literally, it's like an act, like a drama. Oh my gosh, okay, so it's this amazing blend of essential oils. Like, I love it. It's so musky, and it smells different on everybody, and my husband loves it, and he thinks it's super sexy, and whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, why do I need it? Oh, it's also hormone balancing and like whatever, right? And I'm like, wow, that's super cool. I want it. They're like, what? Like, you own Whisper. And I'm like, I know, you just sold me on a product. You guys see what I'm saying? You're going to sell products that you love. If you love doTERRA's eye cream, I'm sure you could sell it to anybody and their mother. If you love the hydrating cream, I'm sure you can sell it to anybody. There are going to be things that you don't sell as easily. A cilantro and whatever the BOGO was, cilantro and marjoram or whatever the BOGO was not my jam. I can't sell marjoram or cilantro if my life depended on it because I cannot stand cilantro or marjoram. So that's okay. I own it. It's fine. I can't sell to everybody. That is okay, guys. Okay? I want you to recognize that you are going to find products that you're very passionate about and you can sell to anybody. And that's great, and capitalize on that. Okay? But think of these. Master your own selling skill. What makes you feel confident? How do you sell best? What are the key points you want to talk about when selling your product? Okay? And then there's just some last minute questions when it comes to consistency. And this is more numbers. Okay, this for some of you might be like, oh, I don't really like this. But for those of you who have goals, rank goals, or some of you might have an income goal and not even a rank goal. I know for me, that was a huge thing, was setting an income goal aside from a rank goal, because I can make blue diamond income as a diamond, right? It's possible. So it's one of those things that set a rank goal for yourself, but also set an income goal, because you can achieve and make great income as a rank you wouldn't necessarily think, okay? So I want you guys to set yourself a income goal. And then I want you for a year, but then I want you to backtrack and I want you to divide that by 12. So say, I don't know, I'm just going to use, say your goal for the year is 50,000. Actually, I'm going to use 100,000 because it's probably easier for me. Okay, so I want you to look at your income goal for the year. I want you to divide that by 12. And that's your monthly goal. And then I want you to divide that by 4. And that's your weekly sales goal. You can also do this with volume, if some of you think better in volume versus, because for us with doTERRA, it's kind of hard with the way our income works. But you can do this with volume. So say your goal for a year is 120,000 and, or okay, let's say your goal for a month is 100,000 in volume, right? Weekly goal would be 25,000. You've got some teams, you've got some people in place to bring in some of that. So what would your weekly volume goal? I don't know, say 1,000. I'm going to say 1,000. My weekly goal would be myself to bring in 1,000 in volume. But what I want you to actually do is backtrack and look at how many people do I have to enroll? This is just like for me, I'm a numbers girl. I like knowing kind of how things work, and I like having things in place. So say you got to enroll 5 people a week. This is just like me being so totally out to lunch right now, okay? So in order to make this goal, this volume goal, you need to have a defined sales strategy. So if you own a cupcake shop, do you think that these people just go out there and try and sell cupcakes? No, right? People with businesses actually have these goals, these number goals. If you're not a person who thinks in numbers, this might be so far-fetched for you. But this is how I think, and this is what really helps me to thrive. And so I'd be very rude if I didn't share it with you. I want you to take these things to start to create yourself a sales strategy, okay? So one question is, how much time do you actually devote to converting somebody? So for instance, somebody comes to you, is interested in essential oils. How many, on average, connections do you need with this individual before you can close them? Maybe it's 5. Maybe it's 10. Maybe it's 15. Depends where you connect with these people, but on average. Where do you get your best customers from? Are they from Instagram? Are they from church? Are they from the neighborhood? Are they friends and family? Where do they come from? How can you increase the number of customers? This says get, but I want to say attract because I don't like the word get. How can you increase the number of customers that you attract? This one might be uncomfortable for some of you, but how can you increase the average sale amount? At the end of the day, guys, this is a business. I want you to be okay with selling, and I want you to be okay with upselling to people. Do you not, like, it's seriously, like, if somebody comes to me and wants a Family Essentials or Old Family Physician kit, and we have a conversation and I have a relationship with them, do you not think I'm selling them on the Home Essentials kit? Right? Because it's more bang for their buck. It's way better for them. It's what I'm passionate about, so I can speak to that. Be okay with this. How can you increase the average amount per sale? So if you sell a lot of essential collection kits, how can you sell, or Family Essentials kits, how can you sell more Home Essentials kits? Right? Maybe it's working on your sales tactic a little bit. Maybe it's getting more familiar with the size amount. It might be something as simple as recognizing, you might not have even looked at it, but recognizing that for double the price or less than double the price, you can get 3 times the amount of oil and a diffuser. For some people, they're like, I'm stupid not to, right? So for some of you, it might be something so simple. And then how can you increase how often a customer purchases from you? How can you increase how often someone purchases from you? For us, this would be LRP. So maybe, and this is a big thing for me, is I need to talk about LRP. For some of you, it might be honestly as simple as, holy crap, I don't do wellness consults. Or I need to talk about LRP more openly. Or I need to share more about oils so people are very interested. Okay? So I'm going to leave you guys with this. But what I want you to do is, we have a Voxer chat for a reason. What I really want you to do is take some time the rest of this week and kind of look at these things and formulate a few things for yourself. The first thing is going to be a sales pitch based off of what we first talked about, which is what are the 3 best features of your product. We're going to create a sales pitch. I want you guys to figure out a way to sell that's comfortable for you. So that last portion we just talked about the, if you were to sell to your best friend, what would that look like? What would you talk about? Kind of create a sales tactic, or master your selling style. What works for you is not going to work for me, and vice versa. What works for me isn't going to work for Tessa, and whatever. What stories can you utilize there, right? That's a really great portion. What stories can you use to sell things to people? And then the last piece of the pie here is going to be defining a sales strategy. So all these questions that I just asked you are what make up a sales strategy, are what make up how you maybe change things that you're doing, right? So some of these questions that I asked you might just made you think, holy crap, I'm selling myself short here. I'm not talking about a Home Essentials kit because I'm so afraid people are going to tell me it's too expensive, right? Or I'm not talking about LRP. Holy crap, I can close people monthly, not just once, but monthly, if I just talked about the LRP. Okay, so what I want you guys to do is go the rest of the week, kind of look through these things, jot down some journal entries, and I want you guys each to jump in the Voxer, and I want you just to share maybe your quick findings. You don't have to share your sales pitch or your selling strategy or whatever. I really just want you guys to share with us your findings, what you've kind of come to realize through this about sales, about how you feel about them, about how you've maybe been hiding because you're afraid of what others think. Okay? Sorry, I lost power. That was crazy. But I will jump off, and I'll have the recording uploaded for you guys to rewatch if you want. And yeah, have an awesome night.